my way.
I don't see that. I don't know. They're going to let you catch it in your bed. What? So when low down and in rotation, that's going to move the long term. I'm not even going to tell you which strike those are. Maybe get an answer from the viewer. Anyone out there? I've given you a hint. It's a shrike. Goodbye before you go back to Europe. Atlanta in Alabama. So, Scott, tell me about this kingfisher playing up Kentucky.
Yesterday afternoon at Buffalo's Dam, we were just sitting there waiting for animals to come along and drink, and I saw Andrew pound the camera across at high speed. I thought a leopard had appeared on the dam wall. But it wasn't a leopard, it was the woodland kingfisher that was flying around, but landing in the water with its wings out and floating there like a duck for sometimes 30 seconds and for extended periods of time. And it was certainly doing it out of joy, not out of distress. After it had been there for 30 or 45 seconds, it would do a few laps around the dam and then pop itself back into the water again.
But take off pretty easily from the water.
Yes, it had no problems taking off, and it did it consistently. So it wasn't like it got stuck in the water once by mistake.
Have you heard of a symbiotic relationship between hippo and certain types of fish? I'm wondering if it's not something similar. That this kingfisher has learned to use small fish as
It's an immature kingfisher as well. That I should have mentioned. It's certainly immature. Yeah, it's a new one from the season. So it would be incredible if it had picked up on.
Oh, well, then maybe that's pushing the envelope a bit.
Yeah.
But the one thing that it could do, I mean, we've seen it so many times how woodlands dive in and then fly out again.
Exactly.
For bathing, and they drink at the same time. Maybe this particular individual has learned that, or has found that it's much more fun to just land and sit there in the process, maybe. I'm surprised terrapins haven't taken it. Although these terrapins here maybe don't feed on birds very much. Oh, that's interesting. See now when there's colour like this with these yellowing of the leaves. The grass is getting brown. All sorts of shapes and things might be mistaken for pets. White-crested helmet shrike coming in. See, there's that bush bottom there.
Yeah, the bushes on this road always get me.
Yeah. Happy birthday, RC. Must be why there's so many birds out. Somebody's been here already. See how in the eastern sky
It was really,
program with you.
yeah, it was so awesome. It was tiny. It was probably only 6 inches long, maybe a bit longer, 8 inches.
I had to remove a spinning cobra from someone's house.
Okay, one of Mike's dogs got stabbed in the eyes by one.
Hi.
Just a few days ago.
This is the same one that had to be rushed to the vet 2
Exactly.
weeks ago because it got bit by a snake.
Exactly the same one.
Yeah. You see, this is what happens. Oh, this is a step left. Hey, there's buggers. Find out.
All good?
You can actually focus. I'll go back to the golden hole. I'll go back to the Marc is so cool because those little markings on its chest shaped like arrows. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be shaped like crosses. It was an arrow mark. Try something cool. Sarah in California. Oh, there. Well, I'm going to try and get the spider and the bird lined up. Morning, Sarah. I keep knowing if I brought any artifacts back. I did, Sarah. I raided my museum and shoved things into little bottles. And yeah, we're going to have a moment later this morning where we'll be able to look at something. So, and since we've already lost all of our puddles in the road, and it's very hard to find one in any of the water holes, I suppose I could go look in a swimming pool. There's an insect known as a water scorpion, and I'm not too sure. It might have been Marc in New Jersey, and I'm not too sure who it was. If you're watching, and you asked me about water scorpions some time ago, I brought a water scorpion, so I hope you're on drive this morning. Let's continue. I wonder what Brent's up to. Now, the house that we had this Mozambique spinning cobra was in a compound with a number of different houses, several dogs, a number of children, and, well, just generally it was a closed space. You know what it's like with the Mozambique spinning cobra. They're fine out in the bush, but in the closed space, just like any of the cobras or elapids, they get a little bit nervous. And I was lucky, there was somebody's fly rod casing. It's like long black tube with a zip top. You ever seen one of those things?
Yeah.
I just opened the top, I laid against the wall, and I encouraged the cobra to the wall, and then made sure it went to, and of course it sees this lovely big dark hole. Probably it was a good 4.5 feet long, this fishing rod cover or casing. And I just zipped it closed.
It's actually a perfect tool.
I did. It did. It spat once, but it was a bit weak. It could never reach me. But that's because there was a mop in its face, I suppose. And then I took it for a game drive. I took it to a causeway on the Kasiri River. And it slid down the broken part of the causeway into the water and into the reeds, and I hope that it finds that's a far better place around human beings. Yeah, smelling Raining damp, right? No, yeah, it's the drainage one. It's quite damp. I think it's going to wait. There's a vehicle coming down the road. I'm going to just wait and see. Maybe there's something further up over the cut line. But I'm going to make my way back into the interior of Djuma right now. We've been on the northern boundary. What is crazy? The main access road to this vehicle heading out of the parking lot. Oh shit. Who's that? Oh, yeah. Right. Go. No, go. Saying there's not much noise. The action was kind of I'm looking at that line. So I'm going to make my way south. So we're going to go past our local watering hole. I don't mean the local pub, I mean the animal watering hole. Djuma Dam, Gowrie Dam, Djuma water hole. That's like track heading home. Bubu is the local word for hippo. It's spelled M-V-U-B-U. And this is actually an old, or rather ancient hippo path that was turned into a road. And a lot of roads have been put in places where there was nothing before. But sometimes one puts a road where there is a natural animal pathway already. And so sometime in the past, I suppose following this drainage design maybe because of natural water holes north of here, this was always a natural walkway for hippos, getting from one place to another. In the dry season when the grasses start drying up, we have to cover a lot more distance to eat enough, to get enough grass during the night. That's why sometimes in winter when the grazing is poor, dry season, when the daytime temperatures aren't too hot, you often find people actually out of the water grazing during the day. Quite a common occurrence along the Zambezi River. And those are times when it can be very dangerous walking. Catching hippo out of the water, and the first thing that they do is try and get back to the water. And they'll run through you, over you, to do so. It's not done like this, you know. It's typically partly cloudy and then getting sunny and windy for the first few days that you were gone. So that kept us cool despite the sun being off. Yeah, it was really windy. Yeah, it's a nice breeze. And with that, isn't that much different further north. It is just a little bit drier where I've been in the tip of Arden. I'm very much, let's take this, we're going to stand make up my mind. And in the odd morning, and it started off lovely and sunny at the crack of dawn, and then clouded over a little bit, and then burnt away. But it's just a dry area, it's a low rainfall area, and of course what happens is you need moisture to attract moisture. And so up north, for those of you who are not too sure where I'm talking about, north of the Sabi Sand you get Manileti, and then north of Manileti you get the Bavati going into the Umbabat, and then that leads into the Ulibut region of the Kruger National Park. But there's a gradation in rainfall, annual rainfall, starting with probably around 500 to 600 millimeters here, and only 200 to 300 millimeters up in the northern Timberline. One of the last redback strikes. I should be starting to go back north soon. There's a garden, or yeah, I saw them. Hastily trying to retreat from its web, and it's far away already. So it's gone up onto the outside. This web is on the top of a termite now, between two bushes, and it's got to be a good 12 feet away from the vehicle, and yet she felt the vibration of the vehicle and escaped the web. For a while, she might go back to the center. This is a much flatter abdomen than the golden orb. They are closely related. She's one of the 3 large web-splitting spiders, or no, I suppose we could call it 3 visible large orb weavers. Golden orbs, garden orbs, and bark spiders. There are some other very large web builders, but some of them are more reclusive. One doesn't see them very often. But she would have picked up vibrations in the air, and that would have given her a message that something large was approaching. And so she escaped the web, and that's her way of making sure that she doesn't get caught by an animal or something moving through the web. They don't always pick it up, obviously, depending on wind direction or lack of wind in this case. Those are still youngsters. Or is that adult? That's adult and 6. What am I saying? What am I seeing? What am I saying? Franklin is complaining about something too. I think those all juvenile. Only hippo and buffalo. Not doing anything. I think the geese would be a good telltale if there was anything untoward. Did she have a baby? Or wasn't there one with a youngster here?
There has been with the youngster here, Marc, that's correct. So the baby could pop up.
this is a bull. I'm looking at a very thick neck on this bull. A very peaceful morning here at Gary Dam. Swallows skimming the water for their morning drink. I think the hippo is about to do something. What do you think?
Sorry, I'll be watching the buffalo.
He's going in circles. I thought he might burst out of the water, the way they do sometimes when they go down, like a whale breach.
Well, I agree though, it does seem to have something planned. What it is exactly, you know.
Something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. Stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Oh. Hippo will make a noise and prance about as soon as we've left the dam.
Morning, guys. Welcome. So, Alex is with me on camera this morning. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of a rush. We were following up on tracks of Kinyuma. They went into a block there, and we're driving on the block, and we just got a report of a pack of wild dogs moving towards our boundary. So I'm going to try and get onto our boundary, and the guy who's with the wild dogs has said I must just check up and down the boundary because they can disappear very quickly. Okay. Sorry I'm going a little bit fast, but I'm trying to get into that area.